Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Maddles, and we are here live at the I-51 UK Masters. It's going to be awesome. I'm joined by Penguin, and we're getting into map number 1 of this best of 3 of the third stage of the group stages.
There we are, and we are going to be on Overgrowth once again. It seems to be one of the more favored maps of today. And we're going to be seeing another PvZ. And this one is going to be between, in the top right spawn location, representing Infused, it is Jamesykins. And his opponent, master of unorthodox tactics and weird plays, it is our blue Protoss player, Randy.
Randy, going to be starting things off nice and simple with a pylon. Down by the natural, possibly for a Nexus first or a Forge first. A lot of Zerg players have been having to deal with cannon rushes though. So, Randy, getting down this Forge.
That's a gateway.
Wait, whoa. Whoa, okay.
What are we seeing? This is what I meant when I said master of weird tactics. Randy does stuff. He does things. And Jamesykins is 13 pooling. He knows Randy so well.
You know when I said, like, this is something which casters really can fall into the trouble with, that you go into autopilot. You see something, you're like, it's going to be a Forge fast expand, you start talking about cannon rushes out, and then some player will be like, gateway. And you'll be like, what?
Why?
Why? I've already finished like half my explanation of why a Forge is a good idea, and you've thrown down a gateway? This is going to be cool.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting to see what Randy opts to do as a follow-up more than anything as well. Presumably we're going to be seeing Chrono spent into that gateway here, and this is not orthodox, to say the least. We have a pylon block going down at the natural as well, just to prevent Jamesykins from being able to take that. With the 13 pool, though, I don't really see him taking all too much damage, and with no Nexus coming on down, it's hard to say where Randy's going to be in this, because you don't see this ever.
You don't. It's incredibly rare. The chrono boosting Zealot coming through now. One already out. And with the pylon block, it's annoying, but there should be plenty of lings here. 6 lings will be to Zealot. The second one isn't even out yet.
He's sending second probe over as well. Where's the first? Okay, so there's a second probe coming. Oh, he gets the probe too. Presumably he wanted to like Cybercore block or something, but that's not going to happen now. The expansion will go down for Jamesykins. And there's no real way for him to punish this. I mean, he's forced to go home as Randy, and what does Randy really have at home? He doesn't even have a Cybercore or a Nexus. It's 4 minutes into the game, and things are already looking very bad for him, kinda.
I don't really... Okay, if Jamesykins hadn't have gone for the 13 pull, I can see this being irritating. It still is going to be frustrating because there's a lot of Zealots out. 4 Zealots needs a lot of lings to take down.
Yeah, and with that 4th Zealot joining the fray now, but he's able to just juke around. He's going to be able to come on in, maybe even deny the expansion. Oh, he denies the Forge here. Getting a probe would be really nice, but good control there by Randy. Does allow him to save it. Nexus going down at 4 minutes 40. Not ideal, to say the least. 3 lings in the main. We're going to have to see some good drone probe control here out of Randy to not lose anything. He gets a nice surround up, but there's the first kill, and all 3 lings survive. They will live to regenerate their health for another rainy day. More lings on the way out for Jamesykins, because he knows he's going to have to defend it. Meanwhile, 2 of the lings in the base have been killed off, so there's only 1 left. That's not really that big a deal, but he is denying 4 probes worth of mining. Not anymore, but he was.
He was. Those probes being heroes. More lings on their way out. The Rotron also coming through, but there's only 8 Zerglings and 2 Queens up against 5 Zealots now. That's a decent amount of Zealots. And you're going to need a lot more lings than this to actually engage head-on.
Yeah, the Queen poking away, trying to get the shields down to some of them, but Jamesykins is going to need to just control perfectly. And some really nice positioning on the Queen there, only allowing 2 Zealots to attack on in. In come more lings from the side. Good control by both players so far, though. Randy really not allowing good surface area onto those Zealots, and more lings are still on the way. But this has become a very, very awkward situation here, and with 6 Zealots now making their way on in. The Roach Warren's done, so he can make a couple of Roaches, but he is supply blocked at... Well, he's only got 2 Roaches able to come out. Is he going to lose his natural? Is this happening?
It really could be. It's a counter-attack coming through from Jamesykins, heading straight towards Randy's natural, but he's got a full wall off. But how long can that last? That pylon's got a lot of surface area to it. The natural base of Jamesykins has fallen. What are we seeing?
What are the Roaches doing? A couple of roaches moving on in here. There are queens, but not quite enough energy to transfuse. The main queen goes down. One of the zealots will fall as well. Meanwhile, the links at the front are actually losing a lot to that zealot at the front. Another zealot being chronoed out. Not a sentry here. More and more of this wall is slowly but surely being breached, but a lot of the probes, or the drones rather, have been attacked already. They haven't really died too many of them, only 4 of them going down, and it looks like the attack has been cleaned up, so presumably we could see a re-expansion here out of Jamesykins, but first off, well, the gateway's dead now. That pylon's probably going to go down as well. Zealot is surrounded. This is a really weird game, Maddles. I'm not entirely sure what's going on anymore. What is my life?
Okay, the cannon finishing means that these lings probably... Okay, they definitely can't go through now. The cannon was there.
But the core's down. That's a nice pickoff.
It is a nice pickoff. The lings could actually... it'd be brave trying to run through, especially with 2 cannons there. I don't think they could get up the ramp after a 3rd cannon being forced though. So Randy is having to spend an awful lot of minerals in this wall-off. But his opponent doesn't have a natural base.
Yeah, this is a really weird game. And just looking at this, we do have more drones on the production tab here for Jamesykins. And I'd like to see him re-expand. I think that's the right call here because he's not going to break this with tons and tons of cannons coming on down. And he's not in that bad a position. I mean, he's not in a good position, but he's not in a terrible position either because Randy's also in an incredibly awkward position, right? So,
thinking about this sensibly, Randy does have 28 probes though, and a safe wall off. Sure, his cyber core is being killed. I can't actually switch it yet. I wanted to see whether... Was Warp Gate Tech done?
no.
Okay, so that's a worse situation now. But still, 28 probes to 19. A very fortified natural base. Jamesykins needs to do something cool off the back of this. And I wouldn't be...
I'd almost like to see a double expand.
I was going to say a double expand would be good. The only other thing that would potentially be really nice is something a bit more unorthodox. A Nidus network. That could be a really good... It's something which players don't automatically jump to, but if a Protoss player is heavily walled off their natural base with lots of cannons and stuff like that, just go straight in. So we will remake from replay, it would appear, and unfortunately, the joys of lands.
Yeah, we've had a couple of issues today already, but it's our first time in the Rico Arena, so still getting used to a couple of things. Anyways, while we just wait, we're going to be setting up the lobby there to re-host from replay, so we'll just resume from basically where we left off. While we wait for that, just a quick shout out to the main sponsors of the Emerge Starcraft 2 UK Masters, the Emerge Energy Drink. We've been having some Emerge ourselves here. You can't see it on camera, but we do have some Emerge on our tables. It's very delicious. Very delicious.
And of course, anyone who sponsors esports, anyone who sponsors StarCraft 2, give them some support. Without, obviously, their help, this wouldn't be possible. So we're going to go to a short break just while we set up this lobby and make sure we've got all these technical issues resolved. We'll be back in a few minutes with the resume of game number 1 of this best of